Sir, you are audible, but your voice is not clear.
Is it okay now? Can you hear?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, so going forward, actually, we have started from yesterday, this particular batch, and related to cybersecurity, we have just started with introduction. Today, will start with the first topic, which is security, network security. So going forward, just wanted to have some discussion upon like to know how is the background, how it is related. So can you just give a brief introduction that like how in which field you are in and what are your plannings or what is your objective? So that will help us to help to go forward with this cybersecurity course. Yeah. Can you tell us like how about your background and how exactly what is your main goal or objective for this course?
Can I start, sir?
Yeah, yeah, please.
So, basically, I have done my bachelor's in electronics and communication.
Okay.
So from that, I come to know about the get the knowledge of the data communication and all the kind of communication. Then
Mm-hmm.
I did my master's in electronics and communication system, and then I came to USA. Before that, I have worked for 2.5 years as a teaching assistant, you can say, or technical assistant, because I was working under my professor only.
Okay.
And then I came to USA and I did my computer science. I got my computer science degree, and from the last 1.5 year, I'm doing like entry level work related to the network engineering.
Okay. So from 1 year, last 1 year, you are already into the field of IT, right?
Yeah, sir.
Okay. So what kind of profile is there?
I'm not getting it, sir.
Like, means currently you are working. So what kind of profile is there? Means what is actually is anything related to cybersecurity or what is your
Not really.
day-to-day
But,
task?
so I have some basic theoretical knowledge. Like I have a course on cybersecurity in my masters. So
Mm-hmm.
I have some knowledge about it. But I want to go into cybersecurity. But first of all, I started with the entry level thing. Then I don't know how to excel to the cybersecurity. That's why I joined the course.
Okay. Okay, then, yeah. So, have you done any kind of certification in this span of time you have joined
I
the?
have a training certification for Competia and Plus, and
Okay.
um, I have the Competia A Plus training certificate. I didn't give the exam
Mm-hmm.
because of I have some financial issues, so I could not able to give the exam at that time. But I
Okay.
have a training certification.
Okay. Okay. So currently, which type of cybersecurity role means are you planning? Do you know that which kind of
Yeah,
role you'll go for?
basically, I want to go in a analysis side. So most probably cybersecurity analysis or maybe penetration testing.
Oh, okay. Okay, then fine. So
Yes.
that's good that you have already started in this particular field of cybersecurity. I'll just quickly share the screen so that we can continue further for this. Is the screen visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And sir, I have a question
Yeah,
from where
please.
I can get the yesterday's video because I could not able to attend the.
Yeah, no issues. I have already forwarded that video to Sweetie ma'am because she will be taking that resource and then she will make the video link for that and she will post in the group. So I have also
Okay.
tagged her. Means today only she will post in the group,
Okay,
cybersecurity.
sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
So yesterday there was another new joinee with whom we have started this starting part of introductory. So I'll just quickly do a catch up here. So as a profile, I'm I was also into telecom for a few years, and then started with network security, then started with cloud security, then started with now currently I'm working as a cyber security specialist. So there are these are the some of the introductions about the profile, and then these are the weekly plan that we have started. So these are the topics where our discussions will go around it. Maybe sometime if we need, we can go to cover some more background around these topic as well. So this is the weekly planner that we are trying now. Okay. So, as in cybersecurity, we have started so many of the bits and pieces you may encounter, which you have already studied. Just we need to go understand this from the industrial perspective, so that how exactly, what is the actual requirement, what is asked in the interview, what is to be done in the day-to-day job of the cybersecurity analyst. So for that, we can just brush up a few of the terminologies. So, as in cybersecurity, it is about the protection of everything related to computer system network and the information which is in the digital form. Then, most important thing is this point number two, which is we discussed yesterday, that is related to CIA. So this is confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So CIA triad is a very important aspect of any cybersecurity thing. So our ultimate goal is these three things. So confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So then we'll discuss this point further. Then the encryption. So to achieve the above triad, it is very much essential that we should know how encryption is done. We'll talk about that also. So fourth thing is related to cryptography. So cryptography is one of the major branch of science which deals with the uh, verifying the techniques and sending data securely, even in the whenever data is in transit. So I'll just tell you what CIA is. So CIA is for the C is for the confidentiality. So confidentiality ensures that who is going to access this information, who is very important. Because if we talk about network, like here in cybersecurity, we should talk in terms of client server. We should talk in terms of multiple networks which are connected together. So let us call them as nodes. And sometime we have like a request from the user, and that we have to authenticate that user, whether that user is exactly the user whose account is there, or that user is requesting its own account only, like accessing the email. So confidentiality is related to who is going to access it. So how can we maintain the confidentiality? So confidentiality can be maintained by using certain authentication in place. So do you know any kind of authentication technique that you can recall, or you can just uh, uh, you are using in day-to-day life? So what do you mean by authentication? Do you understand?
Hello.
Yeah,
Can
yeah.
you hear me, sir?
Yeah. Now I can hear. Yeah. Tell me.
So authentication is basically you are you are making make sure that the whoever is accessing the application or any system is is like he's authenticated to use that system. For that we can use two-way verification, like we can give them OPT or OTP every time he is trying to log in or accessing the application or system.
Okay, right. So that's correct that whenever you authentication deals with the putting up some password, some confidential key, or then it is possible that we may have two-factor or multi-factor authentication. So that is MFA, and some OTP or TTOP we will receive, and that we can use, right? So this is how authentication is done. So in this particular CIA triad, we are focusing onto the confidentiality part as the authentication. Second one is the integrity. So like I explained earlier also. So integrity is related to the correctness and of the data where there is no change in between. It is like courier deliver kind of thing. So parcel is not opened anywhere in between. Some end-to-end connectivity is ensured, like private chats, like internet, like any other confidential information over the internet. So integrity has to be maintained. So integrity can be maintained only by using certain tools and technique, that is referred as encryption. So when we do encryption, we can maintain the integrity. And third thing is availability. So when we talk about availability, very important part is that in the availability, we have to maintain the redundancy. Redundancy is actually uh, making another copy or maybe a backup copy, so that if anything goes wrong or any server gets down, then alternate or redundant server can come at its place. So that is related to this availability kind of thing. So CIA triad always works on confidentiality, that is who is going to access the system. Then your information is encrypted, and availability is ensuring the redundancy or backup. So whenever like today we have the cloud thing, so they are actually using this redundancy thing, availability zones. So they are using it for maintaining the 99.4 times 9, that is availability should be minimum this much. If this is ensured, then only we can accept this SLA, a service layer architecture of that particular provider. So nowadays these are the minimum standards with which we have to go. So that was the CIA triad that we have. Okay, so we talked about that, and then we talked about a different kind of threats and attacks. So we try to differentiate between threats and attack. So threat is what, and what is the attack? Can anyone explain here, or any input? Can anyone say that what is threat and what is attack? So threat and attack means what? So threat is what? Threat is one kind of issue, and attack is what? It is a deliberate action. Someone is deliberately targeting someone. So that is attack. So here in computer also we are having this kind of terminology where we have this malware. So malware is nothing but a chunk of software coding or malicious software where these three are there, that is virus, worms, ransomwares, all these are there, which if gets into our network, then can propagate into another system, and collectively they can bring down entire network, even infect a particular node, or can also harm the data which is present in that particular system. So these are the various things which can be done. You people should know what is viruses, what is worm, what is ransomware. and what are their differences. So sometime in interview, uh, it is asked like as a general thing that what kind of viruses you dealt in, or can you tell me what is the um, procedure or maybe a working style of a worm is. So all this because so whatever terminologies are there that we should be knowing in the cybersecurity for sure. Is it okay? Can we go ahead? So then there are certain more like phishing. Phishing is mostly most common form of attack where deceptive emails or messages are sent, and by mistake, people think that it is their company's or official email ID. So sometimes, let's say if we have XYZ person who is working in the Amazon, so we have xyz.amazon.com, but they will send xyz dot amazon email will be dot amazon at the rate some other domain. So let's say abc.com. So see here, this is very slight difference that deliberately dot amazon has been put over here just to uh, confuse. Or even in phishing, you will see lot of page design will be very much similar to the official page, but it will not be. And once you put your personal data, that will get saved there. So that is what is there. Then there is social engineering, where manipulating the individuals, you are asking them multiple questions, you are tricking them to reveal their personal or PII data or maybe confidential information. So it may be not that much relevant at that moment. Maybe after a few days, they can take the advantage of that, or maybe through someone in your family or in your organization can get harm with these information. So this is nowadays new trick that people are using. Then there is DDoS and DOS attack. So that is denial of service, means unnecessary bring down the server just by requesting multiple time, and when exact user is asking, then particular user will not be able to get the service. So that may happen sometime as a genuine case, but 99% of the time this is an attack in DDoS, and that causes the issues. So nowadays we have a lot of safeguards in the place for every company, every organization. We can take the services policies we can create in the firewall. We can create the rules in the load balancers. We can create the rules into CDNs like a Cloudflare and all. So they immediately detect whether it is DDoS attack or not, and then they can mitigate the things. The insider threat is very there is like a continuous audit monitoring. All these things only can prevent this, otherwise insider threats are very challenging. So if somebody from the organization is trying to jeopardize the security, then that's very much issue. So like you are just entering into the building without ID card. So maybe just your guard is just knowing you. Maybe someday some other person can impersonate like that. So every time using the iCard or some kind of authentication should be necessary. And the last, there are plenty. These are the very much highlighted one. I'll share the list of the different kind of attacks and threats as an assignments, so that you can just go through each of them. And I just want one example of each. So advanced threat persistent threats. Advanced threat persistent threat is APT, which is a group of people. Sometimes it is some country is backing them, or maybe some organization is funding them. So they are the APT groups. So at as of now, today we have earlier very early stage we had APT1. Since then, time has evolved over the several years, over a 2 decade, and now we have APT44. So this is very dangerous group. In between there is a APT43 group, and then there is APT40. So APT40 is backed by China, and they are very much notorious group. Recently, 2 weeks before, 2 months before, they have tried. One particular island has claimed that APT40 has uh, infiltrated in their system and trying to hack every government services. So APTs are very advanced hacker group, you can say, or group of people who are sophisticatedly pro- adding the adversaries to particular system. So fine. Are you understanding this? Can we go ahead further? Can anyone give a go?
Yes.
Okay. So I was talking about the career roadmap earlier also. So these are the different profiles that anyone can go with the cyber security. And then there are security assessment team, so lot of architecture team, so lot of possibilities are there from the cyber security, and it is continuously rising and increasing. So the thing is we have to be more advanced, and we should know various tools which is actually we should support these kind of things. So we'll discuss those tools also, because we should know the tools, and then we should have certain certifications if you are pursuing for particular field. So we'll discuss while in the journey. Then if this is the guideline that how to develop a cyber plan. So for that purpose, there are these 6 key points where we have to identify the key assets and threats which is relevant to your organization. Then prioritize the asset risk, which one is to be addressed first. Like there are plenty of uh, possibilities and risk, that but which one is going to affect your business at max, we should do the remedy for them at first. Then we have to set the achievable goals. Achievable goals means if we are planning on making the world's safest organization, so that is not possible, because every time technology changes, evolves, and even attackers are also using the same technology. Then there is documenting all the cybersecurity policy. This is very much important part for the compliance, for the organizations to work without any issues, because for everything there has to be some SOP, that is standard operating procedure. Then link goals to your business objective. So whatever is the company, right from manufacturing to servicing. So as per your business goal, how can you achieve these objectives. Then test for vulnerability. So once you have made one app, let's say application, maybe web application or mobile application or iOS application, so whenever you have that application, now it is job of the testers to test for the vulnerability, that whether any kind of forgery is possible, any kind of backdoor is there, or if any exploit is possible in that particular apps. So then the report is made for that also, and then developer will again fix those things. So 90% of fixing is to be done into the developing phase, so that is called as DevOps. And if you are adding security to it, then it is called as DevSecOps. So we have DevOps and DevSecOps. So for developing, we have developing and operations, so that is DevOps. But as a cyber security, we are having DevSecOps. So security is added to this chain of developing and operating. Find the weakness, again go back, again try to, uh, this is dev side, this is ops side, so that you can do. And after all this, then you can go for PT, that is called as VAPT, vulnerability assessment and pen testing. So that can be done at the later stage when your app has gone live. Okay, so at that instant you can do it. So these are the ways with which we can create a cyber plan. There are uh, some best practices which we should use, that we should use the regular backup of our system because of ransomware and any kind of threats. Then we should use the multi-factor authentication. We'll see how this can be enabled. And then awareness is to be created within the employees. Then you have to adapt the strong password policy or maintain the proper password hygiene. Then you should use some encrypting software, because encrypting software is important, essential, and they will help to encrypt the data which is at rest or data which is into transit. So whenever data is moving from A to B, source to client, client to source, then encryption is needed. And when data is at stored somewhere, some PC, maybe on the cloud somewhere, then also it should be in the encrypted form. Okay, but that part is very followed as per the organization's policy. Now with this introduction, we are moving into the network security part. So in cyber security, we have to understand from network security as perspective first. So what is network security? So network security is dealing with the security of the network. So what do you mean by network? It is the connection of nodes. Connection of nodes. What are the nodes? Nodes are nothing but the communication points, which may include what? Which may include all the network devices, all network devices, including all. So what does it include? What are the different network devices? Can anyone give some hint over here? Can you tell me different network devices which are there, right from uh, devices to endpoints? So very first thing is the endpoint, maybe source endpoint and destination both, source and destination. Then what else other than endpoint? Let's say your terminal computer is there, or your mobile is there. That is your endpoint, where data is getting delivered at the final node, or where from where that data is starting. So they are called as endpoints. Other than that, what are the different network devices we may have? Can anyone suggest some name over here? Network devices are what are the different network devices? Mhm.
like routers
Yeah, correct. So router is one of the
or
network device. Okay.
switches,
Yeah, switches is also there. Then
access points,
okay,
access points.
access points there for wireless. That is our AP. Okay. Anything else? In between.
Servers.
Okay, server is also kind of node. Then we have load balancer.
Yeah.
Then there is firewall. So firewall is of two type. One is hardware type. One is software type. So they are operating at different level of hierarchy. So all these are the different type of network devices. And now we have to ensure the net security of them. So 90% of time this part is dealt with the separate. thing. So nowadays people are having network engineer, network security specialist, network consultant. All these roles are applicable to this network security. So, but as a cyber security, for in the field of cyber security, everyone should know what the network security is, because cyber security is not a networking kind of job, but unless you understand what is the network, how the data flow is there, which are the devices in the system, you won't be able to comment on the cyber security of it. So just quickly, I'll give you these are the informations. This shows that how internet and other things are evolved. So already you might have heard of these names. That initially there was DARPANET. So then that was the used by defense, and then suddenly from there people have started using that internet for public uh, help. So that was ARPANET, and from there it has evolved into final internet. So internet is like a largely distributed thing, where is billions of devices are connected nowadays. And today we have lot of sensors, IoT devices like Alexa, Google, all these are connected all together. Smart vehicles or wireless vehicle, all these driving all these things. So everywhere security is essential now, because they are connected to a network. They are not in isolated network. So that is giving lot of freedom, lot of flexibility, but at the same time they are also raising lot of security concerns. So that we need to address. So for that, network security, the engineer's job is to make sure that network security is proper at every place. So when we start with network security, the very first thing everyone should know is called as OSI model. So there is one standardizing body called as ISO. So ISO has given this OSI model. International Standard Organization has given open source interconnection model. So open source interconnection model is actually having 7 layers. So these layers up to network is having any devices or any hardware in place. If I say physical layer, that means it is having certain wire, certain technology, maybe wired or wireless. So some wiring system or wireless device will be there. The second is the data link layer, which is very important. So data link layer is accessing the devices at a hard with their hardware addresses, which is called as MAC ID. So MAC ID is used over here, Media Access Control ID. At the time of manufacturing only, at the very first time, MAC ID is created in every device. So any devices which is having connecting capability, maybe through Bluetooth, maybe through Wi-Fi, maybe through wired way, or maybe through Zigbee. So whatever is the way of connection, every device will have its own media access control identity, which is called as MAC ID. So that is not actually changing. That is constant fix for that particular device throughout. So that is what is there as a MAC ID. So data link layer deals with the MAC ID. They create different frames, and because of these frames, data is taken from upper layer and converted into frames and then sent back to the lower layer. So this is what is happening. Just a minute. Okay, I think someone is saying that I'm trying to join. Okay. So 7 layers are there, and out of that, second layer is data link layer. Third one is network layer, where we have the routers. MAC layer is for the two-layer switch. Switch is working at data link layer, and router is at network layer. Sometimes router is also called as three-layer switch. So router can also be named as a switch, but it is three-layer switch. Sometimes some people call it as intelligent switch. Then there is a transport layer, which is very much uh, following the protocols. So there are the protocols. So transport layer is having this protocol called as TCP/IP. So TCP/IP and UDP, these two are the different protocols which is there in the transport layer. So TCP and UDP are the, then there is SCTP also in that, but these two are very famous. One is connectionless, one is connection oriented. You all please go through this OSI layer uh, at least once, just to have some understanding knowledge, because sometimes interviewer test your knowledge about the basics of network or security. So they might ask, or they might want to know that, do you know how exactly OSI model works and what are the things, which one layer is responsible for what are the devices falling under every particular layer, so that you can talk about. So this is the OSI layer, and upper layers are actually software layers, which is 90% of time are embedded into the application operators of means OS itself. So operating system will have this thing integrated, or any software which you install will provide these session, presentation, and application. So let's say a browser, Chrome browser or Safari browser, so or Firefox, Mozilla browser. So all these browsers are having their session, they have their presentation, they have different support for the applications like mail transfer protocol, or like a network SNS, or like DNS, or like file transfer. So all these are the different applications which are supported by them. So these are the OSI model, and we should not forget OSI model. Always we should remember that. Okay. So this 7 layer. Okay. So you can go directly from downside to upside. So that is called this down to top approach, and you can just remember it like P is for physical, D is for data link, N is for network, T is for transfer, session, presentation, application. And you can formulate in your way like, please do not throw um, something like something away. So some dish name you can talk about. So I say save puri away. So there are like different things. So what is network security, by the way? So network security deals with lot of networking devices. So in every network device, we have to talk about these things. Okay, whether that particular device is having these things or not, and they are having their way of understanding. So let's say if I have network security, if I'm talking about this one complete set of network security, then first of all I should be knowing whether the antivirus is in place or any sandboxing is done. So do you know any means you might be knowing antiviruses and other softwares. Can you give me a name of Microsoft antivirus? What is the name of that? Microsoft, because in the maximum place Mac and Windows are there as an operating system. On servers we have the Linux operating system maximum places. So antivirus is not required in the Linux, while in GUI OS it is essential. So for Microsoft we have Defender. Defender is one of the software which is from the Microsoft, and now it is capable in with the capability of ransomware protection as well. Sandboxing is what, when we take any third-party software, third-party antiviruses or softwares, which are providing this sandboxing. Means whatever is data is coming first, it will be stored over here, and then it will be checked, and after that only it will be given to your system. So this is called a sandbox. If anything goes wrong, this box will be deleted. So this is temporary. So called a sandbox. So third party is having, there is a company called as a Netscope. So they are offering these services. There are plenty of them. Then if you are trying to use your server or device from outside the organization, you are not into the intranet of the organization. Means you are in your office. So in your office, you open your laptop, immediately you get connect to your internal network. So that is okay. But when you try to connect the same laptop from your home, then you have to use VPN. So VPN is virtual private network, which is securely tunneling your data into open internet to the your organization's area. So which is called as VPN. So VPN is helping into uh, very first thing is uh, like understanding with like the employee is in our system locally, but that particular person is from their home or some remote location. And this is also nowadays hiding your IP addresses. So VPN can also be used into masking your original IP so that nobody knows that what is your actual IP. But sometimes it is used to exploit the thing also. So hackers and other threat actors are also using this VPN so that exact tracking cannot be done. Then there are certain IDS softwares which are there in the network, that is called intrusion prevention system. Intrusion prevention system is there, and there are a lot of softwares, lot of companies there in that they are now doing AI analytics, and then they try to understand whether any DDoS attack is happening or not, and accordingly they are changing their behavior, and sometimes they may block certain IP addresses which they feel that it is from the blacklist. So that is what is the role of this IPS is. So intrusion prevention, whatever is the techniques can be used to prevent the unnecessary or irrelevant traffic, as well as to understand any issues or any intrusion activity. Okay, so then we'll move on to web and DNS filter. So nowadays DNS and web filtering and all these are merged into various software directly. So DNS is required, and domain name system is essential. Okay. So can anyone understand and tell me, help to understand like what is DNS, or should I explain it more? Do you know what the DNS is? Because these are the names which we'll and keep on finding in cybersecurity and other places. Huh? Anyone? What is DNS? Domain name system.
DNS is basically transfer the IP address to the name, or like if we type google.com, it will give the IP address of google.com, like 192.168 something.
Correct. Okay, so DNS is actually referring to the IP addresses of the requested domains. So let's say if I type in my browser google.com. So in internet, google.com will not work. In internet, we are accessing or identifying the devices by using IP addresses, internet protocol IP addresses. So IP addresses are essential for every device who is taking part in the communication. So whatever is the internet connected devices, they must have the IP address. Now we'll further understand what are the types of IP address, what is public and private IP address. But all DNS are actually using the public IP addresses. So when I type google.com, so it will, your browser will first contact to DNS. DNS is one server from where at that place your request will reach, and DNS will try to understand which website are you looking for, amazon.com, flipkart.com, then xyzcompany.com, google.com, or any other search engine. So it will provide you the respective IP address for that. Then only your request or your packet can go forward with that IP. So if I'm typing google.com, then it will go to DNS server, and then DNS server will provide the public IP of that IP. So what is the google.com IP address? It is 8.8.8.8. This is the global public IP address of the Google. So Google search engine is at 8.8.8.8. So when you type this in your browser, you are ultimately reaching out to the google.com. So this is what is DNS is. So let's, because you cannot remember this IPs. This is very simple one. Let's say there is IP 23.4.6.7. So this IP may belong to Amazon. So, but we cannot remember IP addresses of these use. So it is better for human understanding that we can use directly website name. So you just put your website name, it will be for converted into IP address by using DNS, and reverse is also possible. Now moving on to next thing which is essential in the network security is about firewall. So what is firewall? Firewall is a safeguard mechanism, is like a gate to your system. So every operating system, Linux, Microsoft, Mac, all these operating systems are having their own firewall, which is built within the OS itself. But for other network devices, firewall may come as a separate device. So what is firewall? It is blocking all external informations which is coming from the internet. Lot of packets are trying to enter in your computer, but only relevant access will get to enter, and your request can go from here to that firewall. So it is like your door, okay, or main gate. So main gate is like out of the main or outside, like lot of people are there, they are just uh, present, but only few authorized people are allowed to enter in the gate. So this is how packet is done, because if you allow every packet to enter in your system, then it is a huge chaos, because then it will act like a relay point in the internet. So everything relevant or irrelevant will route through your node or your device, which will overwhelm your device, because there is lot of packets to get processed. So it is not required. This job is done by firewall, and then after that router is doing the forwarding part only. So this is why firewall is very essential. If firewall is not configured properly, that is the first point of entry, first point of breach in your system. So in further, we will also understand what are the firewall rules, how to make the firewall rules, and then what are the different shadow rules or other rules which may affect the firewall policies. Okay, so that we'll have to understand. So firewall is one important thing that we need to cover. Then second is the network access control. This is the control which is actually present inside the firewall or inside networking device. They're called NAC or NACL, network access control list. L is for list. So there is NACL or NAC. So network access control decides that what is to be accepted, what is to be rejected, and from where is to be accepted, from where is to be rejected. So they are called as network access control. So nowadays we have certain softwares. By using that tool, we can directly say, I want this IP to get blocked, and I want this IP range to get open. So automatically that network access control list will be generated. But early days, we had to write the query, complete query, that do not allow this, block this, open this, like that. So nowadays we are having certain tools which can help in that. And then attack surface management. Attack surface management is very vast terminology. So vast um, term which can help us to understand or assess the situation, that if anything will happen, then what are the possible surface from where attack can happen, and how do we manage it. So that is called as attack surface management. So one has to do continuous audit or assessment of their own organization to understand whether anything is left unattended or any weakness is there or any vulnerability is there. So let's say you are, for a physical security I'm talking, let's say if there is a data center which is present at any place and there is a security guard outside that, but instead of security guard we have just used a common a traditional locking mechanism, traditional lock at the gate. So it is possible that without supervision anyone can break and enter in that data center. So how is your means management that will define the attack surface. So attack surface we have to reduce down. Ideally zero attack surface, which is the myth that we need to complete it. So attack surface management is having lot of process which is to be followed, like assessment, then the audit, then the finding the gaps, then the patching it. The lot of things are required. So all these terminologies, all these names, you have to understand that these are the regular day-to-day activity which can be performed as a security expert or analyst. So is there any doubt here? Anything any question is there which you have not understood or you want to know anything? So please let me know. So network security is actually uh, explained by these components. So these things has to be there in the system, like antivirus, sandboxing, VPN, IPS system, DNS filtering, firewall. Within the firewall, there is network access control list, then attack surface management. Sometimes we have a particular application or third-party software which does everything together. So that is called as these. They are the tools. So these tools are automatically managing the network security. So that is automation. Is it okay? Are you understanding this? Can we proceed? Any doubt? If you are not understanding anything unknown, just let me know so that I, in going forward, I should be able to explain it in the further part as well. Because our job is not to appear any examination, it is to appear the interview or to get in line with the understanding of cyber security knowledge, so so that we can perform certain tasks.
Yes, sir, you can go ahead.
Okay. So, like I said, there was OSI model, but in today's internet, we are using this TCP/IP model. So TCP/IP model is actually TCP/IP model, which is there. This model is 7 layer, and this model is 5 layer model. 5 layer. So this 5 layer model is merging all these three into one, because we have already said that application layer is having all these embedded in its directly. Then TCP UDP, so these are the technologies like net. There is merging of first and second, which is called as network access. So directly you have a device, let's say router. So router is having wireless antenna or maybe LAN cable connected, as well as router can also do the data link part, that role also. So cable, ethernet, fiber, wireless, all these are the connecting technology which was the part of physical layer. Now this physical layer plus the switch of the switches which is having MAC addresses, which is managing via MAC address. So they are combined as a network access over here. Okay, so here we have data link layer and we have physical layer. So 2 layer is there. Then network layer is as it is, which is actually for the IP addresses. So this network layer is actually identifying the things into IP packets, and they are doing it via packets. Then there is TCP UDP, which is transport layer. So this technology of TCP, UDP, these two are the protocols. So they are the techniques by which your end-to-end connection can be made. So TCP is connection oriented and UDP is connection less. So we'll see in meanwhile further also how client to source communication or client to server communication is done. Okay, so they are using TCP or UDP. So even I'll share you all one PDF also on the networking. So you can just go through 2-3 chapters only from that PDF, only 2-3 chapters. So which will give you the very understanding knowledge of how exactly packet is flowing in the internet by using these models, either OSI model or TCP/IP. TCP/IP model is the practical model and OSI model is the theoretical model. Okay, so this for the internet we have TCP/IP model. For the IoT we have different model. For the industry manufacturing we have Modbus and other HART and all this. So that is different model. But all those models are following a common model which is called as OSI model. So OSI model is a reference while other models are the customized model for respective industry or application specific. So that is what is called as the this internet model or TCP/IP model, which is 5 layer. Okay, so physical layer, data link layer, internet, transport layer, and application. What is the role of all these that you need to know? Okay, application layer is having DHCP, dynamic host control protocol. So that is one protocol which is running in your router every time. Whenever any new device tries to join, they give their own MAC ID, and with in response to that, your router gives a private IP to your device. So if your laptop is connecting to a Wi-Fi network, it is actually sharing its own MAC ID, and in turn, that Wi-Fi router is giving them a private IP. So one single router can give maximum up to 256 because they follow class C IP addressing. So they can give 256 different IPs, but 5 IPs are already reserved by the router. So we can give 251, means one router is capable of 256 minus 251, sorry, minus 6 equal to 251 different addresses, one address for each device, so there can be 251 devices. But this is theoretical value. Practically you cannot connect 251 devices to a router. What will happen if you connect so many devices together? Their packets will collide with each other because there is no hierarchy. There is called something called as CSMA, that is carrier sells multiple access. So and power is also not there, will be divided. So but on practically, a router can connect up to 35 devices together. So maximum up to 30 to 35 devices are possible, which can be served by a router with good power and without any collision of the data. Okay, so this is what is the internet TCP/IP model, which is called as 5 layer model. So that is internet or network security TCP/IP model. Now a very important thing here is that maximum time in interview in technical round, uh, the person are asking for this particular connection or connection thing, that is how server and clients are connected together, how are they will set up the communication link between them. So that communication link is actually called as handshaking. Handshaking is like saying hello. Like when we meet any person, we handshake, hi, how are you? So another person will reply, I'm fine, thank you. Then you will say, oh, I'm fine, and how are you? So he will also ask, how are you? Then you will say, I'm fine. So similar way, this kind of 3 times communication will go. That is called as three-way handshaking. So handshaking is actually asking server to set up the connection. So if any client is there, your computer is trying to access your email onto Gmail or maybe any Outlook or anywhere. So very first time what will happen? My system will send a sync signal to it. This signal is not direct straight away connected. If you can see, it is having some slant line. Why? Because that is showing the time delay. Few millisecond delay will be there when you request and when your server will respond. So that is why these lines are not straight, they are bit slanted. So you send the sync signal, your server will receive it, then server will send what? Its own sync signal and the acknowledgement of your old sync signal. Acknowledgement of the old sync signal. And then your client will receive and again send the final acknowledgement to this. And after that, what will happen? After that, data transfer will start. Data TRF will start. And this keeps happening at every time whenever you try to set up any communication with the server. 99% of the connection is following this server client handshaking techniques. Similarly, when they are trying to terminate the connection, then also this kind of handshaking is done. So this is one concept called as three-way handshaking that you should always know or understand that whenever client wants to communicate with the server, what happens? They are first doing three-way handshake. Then further communication starts. Then further data transfer starts. Okay. Any doubt here? Anything you want to ask? Shushmita, are you understanding?
Yes, sir. It's clear for me.
Okay. So you people might have already gone through this, means you might may be familiar. So this is why network security, we should know that what are the ways of communication. Okay. So let's talk about network security requirement for respective or particular corresponding threats. So if we have malware, then what security measure is to be taken? So this is what is required. Okay. So if we have malware like virus, worm, or ransomware, which can infiltrate the system, can steal the data, or can encrypt the data like ransomware, or may disrupt the operations, then which system or which type of security measures we should be using? So on other side, right hand side, we are having different security measures that we should keep intact. And on the left side, there are few uh, very general and very common network threats which are possible for our network. So how to do that? So very first thing is that we should have a firewall in place. So this is very first thing. So in every operating system by default we have a firewall. But when we talk about the network or organization or data center, they have the dedicated firewall. Okay, so firewall is nothing but a device. Okay, that is more looking like a switch, and it is having some ports connected to it. Your entire internet will come to that first, and then that device will understand it is like a gatekeeper. It will control all the incoming and outgoing traffic so that only authorized access can be given and others are discarded. So very first foremost filtering is done into firewall itself. So firewall is the very primary and very first security measurement. Okay, so that is the firewall. Second thing we talked about already was the IDS or IPS system. So even if we have the firewall in place, but still there could be some malicious network traffic which can be there. So for that purpose, because if by mistake your account is compromised, let's say in my laptop password is hacked, so anyone can log in through my account and can request any sort of data. And when that request is made, then fire, and with some machine learning and AI techniques, they're having some anomaly detection or unauthorized access. They will track and mitigate those threats. So they will only understand, they will flag that yes, there is some possible, some uh, means some activities there which was not there already. Let's say you generally when you connect to internet, you generally access social media websites, but suddenly you have started searching some other websites which are like very much technical or very irrelevant to your natural way of doing this. So your software will monitor that this network traffic is now getting changed. So they will understand that anomaly. Machine learning and AI is happening in the IDS and IPS system since very long. Okay, so already AI is in place inside this IDS IPS. Then we have encryption. Then there is encryption. So in encryption, we have to protect the data, whether it is moving, whether it is at stationary position. Means it is saved some drive or it is sent over the internet. So if it is sent, it is called as transit. If it is there, then it is called as data at rest. So in both time, we have to encrypt the data so that only respective person can decipher and can get the data. Next is the access control. That was NACL that I was talking about. So it will limit the user role and identity so that it can minimize the exposure. So let's say I will define that these users will only be able to access these websites, company website, maybe some one or two more websites for the information, but no social networking websites. So whenever you try to access social networking website from your office laptop, it will not happen. So that is another security measure that will help to manage the access control. Then there is patch management, very important part, which will reduce the attack surface area. Patch management is what? Whenever you have any issues, vulnerabilities, you keep fixing that. Okay, so how to identify the vulnerability and security gaps? So who will tell us that where is the gap, or whether my operating system is having some vulnerability, or my current version of software is hackable or not trusted? So how to know these details? So there are the bodies which are continuously working on this, and they are only providing these informations. They are providing different guidelines, and they are also giving some advices that which particular version is safe and which one is now vulnerable, and you should not use that version of that particular software. So can you recall, or can you give any example of the patch management, that how will you know? Do you know any website or any organization who is continuously giving you all the informations related to vulnerability and the security threats? Do you know anyone? Yeah,
SolarWind,
am I audible? Yeah, go ahead.
SolarWind,
Pardon?
SolarWind.
SolarV. Okay, that is a tool actually. So that thing is there. But I want to know that officially, how do we confirm that this is the vulnerability, this is the security gap? Let me show you here. So there is a website called as OS, and OS generates every time top 10 threats. OAPS is a organization, okay, open vulnerability and security platform. So this is the place from where everyone gets, this is the cyber security person's very first reference. Second one is CISA. CISA.gov. Third one is CERT. So CERT is actually as per different country wise. So for India, there is CERT in, or for USA, there is CERT US. Like for India, we have Indian Computer Emergency Response Team. So Computer Emergency Response Team is CERT. Dash IN is for India. Similarly, for all countries, this kind of CERT advisory is there. This is the website for Indian Computer Emergency Response Team. Every week, they are generating certain response. They are saying this is the vulnerability in this particular software. You please remove this. Try to solve this. Okay, so these guidelines are keep coming from this, and similarly for the US as well. So these advisories we have to follow. Okay, there is advisory, there is a vulnerability note, there is security assurance, and this. So in advisories we have for every year, let's say, see from 2003 to up to 2025. So if I click on 25, so there is CERT advisory. Okay, the one is for satellite communication. This is for multiple vulnerability in the Microsoft product. Then there is pan os. Pan os is to be addressed immediately. What is pan? Pan is for Palo Alto network. So Palo Alto is one company which is managing lot of routers and firewalls, so it is essential. So if I click in over here, it is saying that Palo Alto companies, see on the 27th February, security severity rating, every time this rating is to be given, whether it is a high, medium or low, or sometimes it is also given as critical. So it is saying that these softwares are affected. Any operating system which is prior to 11.2 should not be used. Similarly for this also. So for Cortex XDR, this version, prior to this version, VM version is not allowed. So they are the different, these are the operating systems. So Palo Alto uh, have already released these versions, but sometime due to workload, cyber security advisories are given, but still who are there in the development team and other software developing team, they don't bother to upgrade this, and then their vulnerability is created. Okay, so target audience, it is giving all the details, that what is the issue, what is the target audience, and what is the risk over here. So see, critical risk on confidentiality, integrity and availability, that CIA triad that we discussed. Then there is impact assessment. What could happen? There could be unauthorized access to the sensitive information. What should we do? These are the things. These are the issues. One can get file detection vulnerability unauthenticated. One can inject the vulnerability in OpenConfig plugin, and then there is privilege escalation. One can get the administrative access in this agent if they are using that older software version. And security bypass is also possible in this particular operating VM, that is virtual machine. So what is the solution then? Solution is this: you directly, Palo Alto network has already released the advisory complying to the same, that you please follow this and upgrade your system to this particular version. So whenever we talk about any vulnerability, any issues, so they are given a code name. So CVE, Common Vulnerability Enumerations, and year is 2025, and 01909 is the name. So this is how they are doing their nomenclature. Okay, so vulnerabilities are named like that. Sometime old vulnerability may also arise. CVE 2024. Let's say some number 1829. So till now, these many sequences has been filled. So going forward in this year, there is possibility that these numbers will go to maximum to 2000, or if 4 digit is there, I think max can go up to 999. So this is how CVI ID is provided. Okay, so this kind of thing is there. This is one advisory system. There can be this CISA, America Cyber Defense Agency. So there are also uh, 13 CSA releases 13 industrial control system advisories. Sorry, then Philips Intelligent, and all these, wherever there is vulnerability or any issue, that will be highlighted by these. Okay, how to follow the best practice, how to done, all these details are available on these websites. So they are continuously monitored and referred. And similarly, the OWASP is open source, and anyone, there is lot of bodies who are contributing to this, and they generate OWASP top 10. So OWASP top 10 is a see, every in interview also they ask, do you know what is OWASP top 10? So OWASP top 10 is nothing but the declared top 10 adversaries in year of 2025 or 2024. So in every 3 years, they generate this top 10. So they are globally recognized developers, and see, this is the top 10 risk and security. So OS top 10 was decided in year 2000 for 2017, but after 4 years, okay, in 2021, this new top 10 adversaries or issues highlighted, new top 10 risk. Similarly, now in after 4 years, now it is 2025. So in 2025 again, there will be new OS top 10 list that will come. Okay, so if you can see, it is saying that in year 2017, injection was the very first, very top level of risk. Then there was a broken authentication. Is it visible? Screen is visible?
Yes.
Okay. So see, the injection, broken authentication, cross-site scripting, all these are the names of the issues. That was in year 2017. After 4 years, they revised it to this. Now broken access control is the top level of issues. After that, cryptography failure, then injection, then all these. And few new has been added. See the new one, which is called as insecure design. Because now a time everybody has moved onto the cloud. So in the cloud, there is a lot of concern about security. So cloud security is required. Every cyber security aspirant can go into the cloud security as well. So cloud security, in that we have to design the cloud resources in well manner. So that that is to be designed by proper architect. So there is solution architects are there. So I have done my certification in cloud solution architect for AWS. Similarly, there is for Azure also, and other way also. See, one more new is added over here. See, one more new is added over here. So some are revised and some are old, and their alignment has been changed. Now these are the very top 10 very famous issues which is to be addressed by each companies. So that is called as security risk and OS top 10. So always remember OS top 10 and CISA and other websites, cert websites, all these are the regular websites through which we can come to know what are the issues. Okay, soon OS is going to deliver the OS top 10 for
Um,
2025. Yeah,
I
please.
have a question here.
Yeah, please ask.
So in 2025, is it the same top 10 or any new one are added or
new
Oh,
will be new will also get added, and their ranking will also change as per the severity. Now what is the major issues, or which practice is followed majorly, and which is to be avoided at priority, so their ranking will change. Okay, so I think still 2025 list has not been declared. It will be declared close to
oh,
September or November somewhere. So
okay.
we are planning to announce the release of OS Top 10 2025 in the first half of 2025. So maybe by the end of April or something, we will now get the another new OS Top 10. So
Oh,
OS Top 10 is what? They are the top 10 vulnerabilities which is there across the globe, and a cybersecurity expert should know how to remediate the things and how to safeguard from that. So these are the three websites that everybody should know. This is CERT for India, there is CERT for US, New Zealand, Australia, every country, and then there is CISA website also. They are also providing certain certifications also. They have some resources, tools, you can go through that also. There is a lot of thing. So since cybersecurity, there is a lot of things to understand, and many of the times you have to take some initiative and get to know. So while going forward, I will keep highlighting these things so that you know from where to refer what, then only you will be able to answer in the interview. See, to get the job in cybersecurity, you should have two things. One is understanding of the cybersecurity concept. Second is a relevant certification if it is required for that particular organization. Otherwise, if you can uh, crack the interview with your knowledge, then that's good enough. Okay, so these are the different things that you should always refer. So please make a note of it, and always remember this OS top 10. OS top 20 is also there. Top 10, and add 10 more least priority. There is OS top 20 also, but we only focus on top 10 first. Then CISA website and CERT websites are also there. Okay, so I think that's it for today. We'll stop it here. So in the next week, we'll cover the further part of the, say, this TCP, UDP, all these are sometime very rarely asked by the cybers in the interview, but everyone should know what is TCP header and what are the fields in that, what is UDP header, what is the field in that. So you can, you all have to go through this basics. So for this week, you can just go with this TCP ICP model, three-way handshake, and these security measures, and this header format. So these are the minimum things. Whenever you get time, you just search these keywords, try to get certain things. See, if you see 100 things, then only you can remember 10. So you keep just scrolling through these things, then only